After I refused to give my mom my inheritance, she invited me to a family meeting. When I arrived, they had lawyers ready to force me to sign it over. But the moment they handed me the papers, I smiled and said, "Funny, I brought someone too." My grandmother left me everything. Not because I was special, but because I was the only one who visited her in those final years. Every Sunday, without fail, while my mom and aunts were too busy. The inheritance was substantial. Her house, paid off. Savings, investments, about $850,000 total. My mom's first call came 3 hours after the will reading. "We need to talk about Grandma's money. It should be split among all of us." She would have wanted that. She made her wishes clear, Mom. "I'm keeping it, you selfish brat. After everything this family has done for you." I hung up. For 2 weeks, the calls didn't stop. Mom, Aunt Linda, Aunt Carol, Uncle Pete, all with the same script. Family shares. Blood is thicker than water. You owe us. Then came the text. Family meeting. Sunday at 2 p.m. Mom's house. Mandatory. I should have known something was wrong when I walked in and saw the setup. The dining table cleared, serious faces, and 2 men in suits sitting at the head. "Thank you for coming," Mom said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "We have some important documents for you to review." One of the lawyers slid a thick folder across to me. "Mr. Harrison, these documents will facilitate a more equitable distribution of the estate assets. We just need your signature." I flipped through the pages. Legal jargon, but the core was clear. They wanted me to voluntarily redistribute the inheritance, 40% to my mom, 20% each to the aunts. They'd even calculated it down to the dollar. "You ambushed me with lawyers? We're trying to do this the right way," Aunt Linda said. "Grandma clearly wasn't in her right mind when she made that will. She had dementia," Uncle Pete added. "We have medical records." The lawyer nodded. "Contesting the will would be expensive and time-consuming for everyone. This way is cleaner." Mom leaned forward. "Sign it, sweetie. Don't tear this family apart over money." The room was silent, everyone staring at me, waiting for me to fold under pressure. That's when I smiled. "Funny," I said slowly. "I brought someone too." I pulled out my phone and sent a text. 3 seconds later, the doorbell rang. Mom's face went pale. "Who did you—" The door opened. Margaret Chen walked in, her briefcase in hand, looking every bit the senior partner at Crawford & Associates that she was. "Good afternoon," Margaret said crisply. "I'm Miss Chen, Mr. Harrison's attorney." The 2 lawyers exchanged nervous glances. Margaret took the seat next to me and held out her hand. "May I see those documents?" The first lawyer hesitated, then slid them over. She read for maybe 90 seconds, then looked up with the most devastating smile I've ever seen. "Gentlemen, I'm assuming you're aware that attempting to coerce someone into signing over assets through intimidation, even in a family setting, constitutes undue influence under state law." Dead silence. "Furthermore," she continued, pulling documents from her briefcase, "my client's grandmother was evaluated by Dr. Patricia Osman just 6 weeks before her death. Full cognitive assessment, perfect mental clarity. I have the sealed report right here, which will be submitted to probate court." Mom's lawyer actually loosened his tie. "The will was also reviewed by 3 separate attorneys before execution. Everything was done correctly, gentlemen. Almost suspiciously correctly, as if the deceased knew someone might challenge it. Because she did. Grandma told me 2 months before she died. They'll come for it. Make sure everything is airtight." Margaret placed another document on the table. "This is a cease and desist. Any further attempts to pressure my client will result in a harassment lawsuit. Any attempt to contest the will be met with a countersuit for legal fees and damages." She stood up. "We're done here." I stood too, leaving their unsigned papers on the table. As we reached the door, Mom found her voice. "You'd really sue your own family?" I turned back. "You'd really ambush your own son with lawyers?" We left them sitting there with their expensive legal team that had just been thoroughly outmaneuvered. In the car, Margaret laughed. "Your grandmother was one smart woman. She planned for this exact scenario. She knew them well." I never answered. "The inheritance is mine. The house is mine. And the family that actually mattered, they're the ones who never asked for a dime."